Hello everyone. It's James again. And today we are going to talk about something very important. But before we do, I want to say to anyone new to this channel, I thank you for giving this little cartoon man and his funny voice a chance. I hope you stick with us, as you might find some things we talk about on this channel and in this video interesting. And to those that have been a part of this channel for many years, just know, I really do appreciate you all and your support. With that said, let's talk about today's topic. And that is the spirit of narcissism, or the demonic spirit of narcissism. You see, many of us over the years in the narcissistic abuse community have noticed some strange happenings amongst those that are believers in God, and even those that aren't believers. They too are noticing strange things. No matter the narcissists they've dealt with are in one part of the world or another. It seems they all say the same phrases and sentences. They tend to use the same word choice. They oftentimes will smirk or grin in the same way or manner. And what's even more odd, strange, and even creepy, these very people will have encounters with several narcissists throughout their life. And oddly enough, it seems like they are dealing with the same person. Meaning, they may have came from a narcissist family and then later on dated or married a narcissist. Well, one might say, well, you learned to be good supply for the narcissist. This is why you ended up with one. Okay. Fair enough. However, the part that is creepy is their words and things they say are almost identical. So much so, it seems impossible they are almost repeating word for word things your narcissist family said to you growing up. And now this person that knows nothing of your family is saying the same weird one-off stuff to you. And this is where many in the narcissistic abuse community have mentioned and talked about the Jezebel spirit affecting both women and men alike. And I believe this is and can be the case. But I think it might go deeper than that. And this goes to something a subscriber said that sparked me to think about something just now this moment. And that is, the only way to be with someone is that they must be strong enough to not have bad things. One might say those bad things are demons. But they must be strong enough to not let these things affect them or influence them. And I think that is where and how those that have successful relationships have successful relationships. Because they are coming from a place of belief and a place of strength. You see, we live in a world where good is now called bad. And bad is now called good. And just like in most narcissist homes, where the narcissist parent or parents will use such tactics in order to divide their children up into possible two camps: the scapegoat or scapegoats, and the golden children. Now and then, there will be a forgotten child. If the family is big enough, it's usually the youngest out of, let's say, 7 or 8 children. That child might slip through the cracks and might not experience much in the way of narcissistic abuse. However, the rest of the children have been pit against one another. Usually most of them falling into the category of being the golden children. Because just like in society, it's much easier to go along with something that you know is wrong, with the hopes of being rewarded and not punished. Because that's what society does now. It punishes you if you agree with what is truly good. So if you do agree with that is truly good, many will go against you. Simply because they want to make the system happy. And they don't want to have the system treat them like a scapegoat. This is the same dynamic that happens in every, or nearly every home where narcissistic abuse is happening. But I think something else happens. You see, there have been talks about how one shouldn't use certain substances. One, because they are bad for you. But also because they drop the veil between this world and the world inhabited by demons. And a great many that have done such things say they witnessed and saw literal demons. Well, I believe something else gives these demons power. And that is going along with evil, while giving up and not having a personal identity. When someone will go any way the wind blows. To me, that is a person that worries me. Because they truly don't have a personality. It changes depending on who the head narcissist is. They will pretend to really like people. They do not like at all. All because they know this is the one that is in charge. And this is all that happened when we were growing up. Our golden child siblings noticed what bad things that were happening to us. Simply for not going along with the narcissist parents testing us with gaslighting. And all kinds of other stuff. And so the golden children just went along. And in my opinion, these people are prime targets for what people call demons to at bare minimum influence them. Simply because they have no personality that is even theirs to begin with. It's like they are a blank slate. They are empty shells. Or they become empty shells over time. And that's where one subscriber mentioned and called these things jumpers. Meaning, it's possible that it might have been a demon that has followed your family for a long time. And the person that you started to date is just a blank slate. An empty shell that is willing to do whatever it takes to get whatever they think they need to become safe. Because at the end of the day, that's where narcissism usually starts. As a protective mechanism. In order to hide the true self. The abused self. And cover it with the false narcissistic abuse. And the narcissist will do anything to be safe. And in that process, they seem to enjoy hurting others. And seeing the emotional pain they heap onto others' lives. The other reason why this is so important. There has been a big push. Talking about UFOs are real. And that aliens likely walk among us. You know. I'm not saying that's not true. But I would be careful regarding who or what these aliens actually are. And this goes back to the spirit. The demonic spirit of narcissism. It seems old. And it seems to follow. And it seems the same. Could it be this is just how narcissists universally talk? Could be. But as an example, why in every part of the globe they have the same or similar story of Noah's Ark and the flood if it wasn't real? I think the takeaway from this is not to be alone. Unless you want to be alone. But to make sure the people in your life, to the best of your ability, are truly strong. And they aren't just an empty shell. An empty shell any type of entity can influence. This is why God tells us to test the spirits. And this is why you should take your time with people. And I believe as this UFO thing along with aliens keeps getting ramped up, we'll be talking about this a lot more. But I'm curious as to what you think. One movie I've mentioned a long while ago was the movie with Denzel Washington called Fallen, where this ancient demon, if not fallen angel, was literally jumping from person to person to person. And it always had the same smile and the same words for Denzel. No matter if it was coming from an old woman or a young man, it made the same face and had the same words. This appears to be the same or similar phenomena that most that have lived through narcissistic abuse have faced. But again, I would like to know your thoughts. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.